focusing in on Salesforce.
Right, Salesforce, ticker symbol CRM. So Salesforce is one of those companies that doesn't have quite as much traction as, a popular retail company or a streaming platform, right? And their customers are a little bit different too. So instead of selling to, you or me, they sell to big businesses. So Landon, I'm wondering how that affects your data and how you track a company like Salesforce.
Yeah, so, all the time we're on this show talking about people going into a store or buying a new iPhone or whatever it may be. Obviously, this is very different. And frankly, a couple of years ago, I was actually pretty surprised that our data was as predictive as it is on Salesforce. We're still getting about 1,000 mentions a day on it on Twitter, and probably maybe 50 or 60 of those are people talking about signing up for the first time and joining their subscription customer relationship management software. So it's a little surprising. It's a little bit out of our wheelhouse, but it does work, so we go with it. Bottom line, though, is that this is a company that has seen tremendous year-over-year revenue growth, and our purchase intent has been following right along, basically. So it is very predictive. It's showing that people are signing up for this. And this is a very strong company. They're seeing basically growth every quarter. And right now we've got purchase intent near or at all-time highs, and the stock has pulled off a little bit. I think the stock is around 146, 147 right now, and it was 160 a month ago. So, if you're looking at a company with purchase intent at all-time highs and a stock pullback, obviously that's the kind of bullish setup we like at LikeFolio.
Yeah, Landon, I was just going to say, you look like your purchase intent is staying strong and the stock has diverged a little bit from the purchase intent. Is that where LikeFolio really is that in your wheelhouse as a rare opportunity? Is that the way you guys see it?
Yeah, we really like when those two lines move away from each other, either direction. Obviously, if purchase intent is going up and stock's going down, that's bullish. We can go the other way just as well. But yeah, we like it when market expectations are a little bit lower. I'm not sure about analyst expectations. I think they are pricing in quite a large revenue growth. So it'll be interesting to see if they beat or not. But as far as the market goes, you can tell that expectations are down a little bit just because people have been selling this stock. So we like when that happens. We're bullish on the data, and then I'd rather get in at 146 than 160. So that's where we're at.
Some of that sentiment may be around the price tag that they paid for Tableau, of course, spending over $15 billion on that name as they acquired that data company. But, as you said, looking at this data, it's hard to argue with what you guys are showing. It is interesting to note that you guys are able to track something like this as accurate as you have. When you're looking at this name, though, I was asking Evelyn before we came on, this has got to be the market leader in this space. When you look at that in terms of CRM and customer relationship management software, who's really a big competitor to them?
We use HubSpot in the office. We like that quite a lot. But there are some smaller competitors, but I think Salesforce is by far the dominant player. And what's really interesting is they've got about, I think 70% of their revenue comes from the US. And they've just got in a partnership with Alibaba to, be the exclusive CRM that Alibaba sells, and it's a really good partnership for them. So they're looking to grow that international segment. Very strong in the U.S., obviously, but there's a lot of untapped territory out there that they're starting to stake their claim at. So I think the future is very bright for this company.
So Salesforce does a lot, and in researching this company, it was kind of hard to wrap my head around exactly what it does. And I think this tweet from Tom Dalling kind of perfectly encompasses that. He says, I finally had a reason to use Salesforce. It's confusing, but apparently it's a CRM that automates stuff, predicts and sends emails before you write them, researches medical advancements with AI, cooks perfect poached eggs, tucks you into bed at night, plans out your entire... And of course he's joking, but it seems that Salesforce really does a lot. And back to Alex, your point as far as how they really dominate this market, it seems like really no one else compares.
Yeah, it's definitely a market leader, but that's, you see that in the revenue growth, Landon, you see that in the data. As you point out, though, there are other competitors there, and, their real focus now, it seems to be spilling over to international in terms of growing overseas as well. Is that kind of what I'm gathering from what you're saying?
I think so, and to that tweet's point, I love that tweet. They do a lot of stuff. It's not just customer relationship. They do customer service. They do automated marketing. They do drive analytics. Basically, they get and keep customers for you, and they do that in a very smart, automated way where a lot of companies don't want to dedicate resources to do that. It makes, you can have one person with Salesforce do the job of 8 or 10 people if you're a large company. So it's very attractive for large companies and very attractive for medium-sized companies.
So talking about their acquisition of Tableau recently, and they've had some other acquisitions in the past as well that have sort of been weighing on maybe what its profit is looking like right now. I think that I heard that being spoken about on MTL earlier with Oliver. But our next tweet sort of speaks to that. That says, Salesforce earnings in a few days will set the tone for the cloud space. It's been getting taxed for purchasing Tableau data for a high price, but that will be accretive. And of course, this tweet was a few days ago. They do have earnings tomorrow morning before the market opens. Post-market today, after the bell today. Right. And so what do you think with the cloud space, how that's performing? Do you think that the acquisition of Tableau is going to weigh substantially on the earnings report tomorrow?
I think that when it comes to this company, Wall Street is going to see that they have been growing revenue consistently for many years, many quarters, quarter over quarter, just absolutely crushing it. I don't see this quarter being any different. I see them growing. I know that analysts are expecting a significant growth, but what I think is going to happen on this earnings report is they're not going to look so much at that acquisition. They're going to look at this revenue. They're going to be reminded that this is a company that absolutely crushes it on revenue. They're continuing to grow, and it used to cost $160 and now it's $146. So I think it's kind of on sale right now, and I think my guess is that's what this earnings report is going to remind Wall Street of.